Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, but I just felt like recording. I felt like speaking from the heart. I felt like just talking because I felt like channels are gonna start coming through in just a second as I sit here. And this is a lot of like what my day-to-day looks like. Like I'll be sitting here and I'll have so many channels come through, not only for myself but like for other people, and then I'm like, fuck, like I wish I was recording so that, you know, I wouldn't have to like reenact what I was what I just processed and what I just channeled through just sitting here in observation mode. As I am eating breakfast right now. I have some rice and beans, and then I also have some potato salad thing that I made with some tofu egg and some greens. But I was just sitting here and I was like, I'm just gonna record. And because there's a lot of like moments where, oh my god, there's literally like a hawk. It literally looks so like graceful. There's like moments where like I'm sitting here, I'm eating, and then like in those moments of where I'm just sitting here and eating, that is like what I want to share with you guys, if that makes sense, because I feel like that is what when the channels are coming through, obviously because I'm just sitting instead of like talking or thinking or, you know, whatever. But it's like during those periods of moments I usually cut those out, so it's like back to back. But I kind of just want to sit here right now and enjoy my meal and see what Spirit has to say. You know what I always think about? Since I am currently, the surroundings, like the people that I see on the daily basis are very like unhealed. And I say unhealed with like as a whole like spectrum, I guess, where it's like obviously no one is ever fully healed, but like there's like a certain extent to like being conscious of like when you are being toxic or when you are saying something that's like manipulative and stuff like that. So this girl is just staring at me talk. But anyways, so that's what I mean by like unhealed, is like when people aren't conscious of what they're doing and the intentions that they're doing it in, and like what effect that has not only on themselves but like on the people around them. So yeah, so I always think about how like within my surroundings, like the people I do see on the daily basis, at work, in wherever, like these people, I realize that I know that they're unhealed because they just are, they haven't taken the chance to like go within themselves, and that's not their fault at all. But it's also like a certain point where you have to hold yourself accountable. But I always think about how like I can really sit here and be like, oh, I hate my life, I hate this, I hate that, like why is everyone so this, that, whatever, right? And I can sit here and say all those things, but I am so grateful that now like I've gotten the chance to see things from an inner perspective, from like an inner viewpoint of where it's like, I know why they're like that. I know that they haven't had the experience of going within themselves, of being able to love themselves, of, you know, being able to honor their energy, their time, whatever it is, being able to be within themselves. And I always think about that because in the past, when I was experiencing depression, like really bad, and suicidal thoughts, like to the point where I was literally gonna end it, that was my way of thinking. I would literally sit here, sorry, I'm like trying to fix the lighting and stuff, but I would literally sit here and be like, oh, why is my mom doing this, like I've heard, like it's so annoying, or like, oh, why is this person looking at me, like can I fucking help you? Like even though I still be like that, like if guys stare at me, I'm like, okay, and like I'll just stare back, or, you know, obviously, because can I fucking help you? But it would like get to the point of where like I would constantly be in that energetic flow of like negativity, of where like I would just criticize every single little thing that anyone around me did, but I never went inside and chose to see what part I was playing in that moment. So I think what I'm basically trying to get through here and say is that if you're dealing with depression or suicidal thoughts or anxiety or whatever it is, something that has helped me so much is literally like seeing what part I play in all these situations, whether it be within a person, within a environment, within literally anything. Like if it can be literally be like, oh, I'm so hungry, like I want food. And you could, if you're in a negative loop, you're probably going to be thinking like, why isn't my parent giving me food or bringing me food? Why isn't this person like offering me food? Why didn't they say, do you want some? I feel like that would be the negative loop, because from my own experience, that was a negative loop that I was into. Like we expect things from people without even creating that for ourselves. So, and that doesn't even just go into like food. It literally goes into everything. Like, how can we expect people to love us if we don't even love ourselves? How can we expect people to respect us if we don't respect ourselves, right? So literally seeing what part you play in each single situation to the smallest detail is literally so key to literally ending negative cycles. Because once you start taking action, I literally just saw a reel about this guy talking about how the only thing that keeps depression or suicidal thoughts or any negative loop going is not taking action to what you actually want to be doing. And I've said this before, like when you're in depression, Jim Carrey actually rephrased it to deep resting, and I personally resonated with that, because I feel like when you're feeling depression, that's a label to when your body, your mind, and your spirit are all coming together and being like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do what I'm doing right now. If you don't like the job that you're working, then quit. If you don't like where you live, then do stuff. Take action to move towards what you actually want to be doing. Obviously, do these things mindfully as well. Not just like on a whim. Do these things mindfully. If you are making these changes, do these things consciously with a strategy and with like, a plan, so that you just don't go into things like blindly. But yeah, literally taking action to what it is that you actually want to be doing can literally change the whole energetic field to getting out of depression, getting out of suicidal thoughts, ending anxiety. I've literally experienced much less anxiety when I started observing instead of acting on the physical and mental like connection that our brain makes that create our emotions. And I hope that made sense. I'm reading the book The Power of Now, and they literally explain that so good, like the connection that you make with your brain and the thoughts with your brain, and that creating the emotion that you feel, and that being the expression that your body feels within what is happening around you or the people that you meet and stuff like that. So if you want to look more into that, I really recommend that book. It's so good. It's literally so good. It explains everything so like perfectly. So yeah, that is something that I wanted to talk about. And it's just because I was sitting here right now and I saw this person that I personally don't like. I want nothing to do with this person, but also I have no hate to this person. I have no like envy, no like, it just is. And I just don't want anything to do with them, because I know that what they've done in the past, and I know that that doesn't represent them as who they are now, but it's just like, I don't want anything to do with you, and perfectly fine. And I don't have to have anything to do with you. So, but I was sitting here and I was like, and this person said hi to me, and I was like, hi. And that's it. I did say hi. But in that moment, I was like, I don't have any hate towards you, but I just don't like you. But that doesn't mean I have to like hold a space for you in my emotions, if that makes sense. And I was saying that to within myself, because it goes for the same like it goes the same for everyone around me as well, and like the environment I live in. I'm very open about this, that I do live in a toxic environment, and although I am like making a plan, it's still like good. Like I like to be able to acknowledge the fact of what it is and what part I play in these things, and if I'm choosing to move forward or stay in stuff like this, if that makes sense. Because currently I am moving forward physically, mentally, energetically, like everything, literally everything is shifting. But I also want to observe, like it's also like observing the fact that I'm actually choosing to move forward with my life now, because for like 2 or 3 years I wasn't choosing that. I was choosing to stay in those environments where the people were toxic, or people were manipulating me, or people were literally like backstabbing me, and then I would hold space within myself to feel bad for them doing these things to me. And I know a lot of the spiritual community says like things don't happen to you, they happen for you. And yes, that is true, but it's also like holding these people accountable for what they do, if that makes sense. So it's not like I'm taking myself out of like what part I played in it, or what part or what the situation was, but it's also like these people still have to be held accountable, not even like on a freaking like law way, but like within themselves, if that makes sense. And not to apologize to the person that they're hurting or whatever it is, but it's literally about ourselves taking accountability for what we choose to do, even if that did hurt someone, being like, oh fuck, I messed up, like, you know. And if that's saying sorry or apologizing to the person, that's what it is. But also, these people do not owe you an apology. Nobody owes us an apology at all. If they don't feel like it, we can't force anyone to apologize to anybody if they don't feel like it, at least not in a sincere way. So it's literally about holding ourselves accountable and like separating like the people with the emotions, and literally just sitting with yourself and being like, these are two things that are happening, and that's what it is. And if I choose to change that, then I'm changing that. And if it doesn't change, then that's because I haven't chosen for it to change, if that makes sense. So I was just sitting here and observing the fact that like I don't have hate towards any of these people that did do me dirty or that treated me bad or anything like that. And it feels really good to say that, because there was a moment in time where I was like literally holding all these negative and toxic feelings for these people that were projections of what they were expressing onto me, when in reality it's like, I'm not your emotions. I'm not what you choose to do to me or for me or whatever. I'm not you. And this literally goes back to creating attachment within yourself and within people and external things around you. And literally, like, I think, like, to me, I think attachment is literally the root of everything. Once you create an attachment emotionally, mentally, physically, energetically to anything, it's literally like, whether you gain something from it or lose something from it, it's still going to create this emotional attachment to these things. Like I said, whether it's energetically, physically, mentally, whatever it is, once you create an emotional attachment, like once you think about an attachment, I meant to say, it creates an emotional attachment, which then creates the physical attachment to the feelings of like hurt and grief and anxiety and depression, because then you attach yourself to all these external things, good and bad. Like, yeah, whether it be good and bad, you're still creating emotional attachment to feel some type of hurt, because if you gain something, you're gonna feel this bliss, you're gonna feel this like skyrocketed, like you're being on top of the world. And then if you start declining from that, it's like, even if it's not at a bad place, even if you decline a little bit, decline. Anyways, once you like start going down from such a high place, or what you think is going down, heal, it literally creates this emotional poison that we end up feeling once we like have like a high point, which is why there is good and bad, because we create an emotional attachment, and attachments mentally to these things of, once we do really good, if we do any bad, then the good that we've already done, then we're going downhill, or it's not working out, the way that it's supposed to. So I think literally attachment is the root of every situation, whether it be good and bad. And then that leads into having expectations of things. Love how this is literally like everything I've ever learned. But yeah, it's crazy how everything is literally like correlates within everything of our being, because all these things are things now that I observe, instead of trying to create an emotional attachment or any attachment. Is just like, I'd rather observe. And not because I don't want to feel hurt, or because I don't want to feel happy, or because I don't want to feel whatever feeling, but because it just is. Like, literally, like a car, a materialistic thing, it just is. You know, a phone, it just is. Literally, like, people, we just are. But so many of us don't see that. So then it's like, I have to hold on to this person to love me. I have to hold on to them because of blah blah, like, you know, like they bring me emotional fulfillment, which isn't bad at all. Like, I'm not saying if you do the opposite of what I'm saying, it's bad, because it's all part of our human experience at the conscious level that we're at right now. But it's also like, once you go deeper within yourself, it's like a whole different thing. It's no longer like, I need a car right now, or I need to be in a relationship right now. It's like, I just am living. That's it. Like, I just am living. And I think it's like, once you go within yourself, you do find that love, you find that happiness, you find that peace. So therefore, everything else is just a plus. Even if you lose things, it's just a plus, because you know you're gaining everything that you need to be gaining. By the time this is out, I'll be on my trip. So yeah, if you guys are new here, my name is Elitzi, and on this channel we basically just talk about stuff like this: spirituality, growth, and like our own healing, and literally creating an abundant lifestyle that we deserve to be living, as we are conscious and mindful of what we are doing. So also, my intro always changes on like what we do in this channel, so also like whatever. Anyways, yeah, I will be on my trip, so expect more of trip videos. I'm so excited, and I'm gonna meet with one of my old friends from junior high. Like, that's crazy. After 7 years, like, I'm so excited. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I love you. I cherish you. My hands are dirty from eating, but yeah, I love you, I cherish you, and I will see you in the next one.